Here's Justin Jefferson. So a couple quotes have come out about Justin Jefferson. Here's the quote. He said, I'll say after this year, I'll be the best receiver in the NFL. I definitely have to give it to Davante Adams as of now. I feel like I'm going to surpass 1,600 yards too. So I think that I'll become the best receiver after this year. Now that's complex sports, so I don't think that's BS. It's a legit article. Justin Jefferson will becoming the best receiver in the NFL. So best offensive players under 25. This is from CBS. Justin Herbert, Jonathan Taylor, and then Justin Jefferson. They have Jamar Chase in there, CeeDee Lamb, Kyle Pitts, Rashawn Slater, Vera Tucker, Creed Humphrey. Love his name. I wish we had drafted him. James Daniels, Tristan Wirfs. So when you think about that list, Justin Jefferson is one of the best offensive players under 25. He's saying he wants to be the best receiver. He said he's going to hit 1,600 yards. Do you think Justin Jefferson can do that? Do you think with this offense, Justin Jefferson wants to be the best? He's telling people he's the best. He's not afraid to say he wants to be the best, and he wants 1,600 yards. Can he do it?
Why stop there? Why stop at 1,600? That was last year's Justin Jefferson. That was Justin Jefferson getting handcuffed by the Kubiak offense. Why not 1,800? If he plays all 17
Well, he
games,
said he'll surpass. He said, I'm going to surpass 1,600. So
yeah,
he did say, I'm going over 1,600.
I think he's doing that, and I think he's going to surpass 17 and 18 because he's never missed a game. Never missed a game for injury, never missed a game for COVID, and he's durable. So odds are he's going to play most of the games. And if they treat him at all like they did the receivers in that Rams offense, I think he gets there and then some. Now, I've got a question or two for the person. Did you say that Jonathan Taylor is ranked above Justin Jefferson in the under 25 category?
Yeah, I don't know if it's not in alphabetical order. So, I mean, I don't know if this is the order, but that's the way they're listed. It's Justin Herbert, Jonathan Taylor, then Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, that seems, maybe it's just not in order because I think that Taylor, like with a better quarterback, the Colts are just going to run less. Matt Ryan's going to throw more. Taylor's going to have lower stats, and then people will say, oh, Taylor's dropped off. Well, no, they just didn't run it to him as much. But I think Jefferson is easily going to surpass 16 if he plays the full slate of games. What do you think, Luke?
Oh, no question. Keep going. What are we doing? Keep going. I mean, look at Cooper Kupp last year, like you mentioned, Sam. Led the league, triple crown, 1,947 yards, 145 catches, 16 touchdowns. And like you mentioned, Sam, this was a ultra-conservative Mike Zimmer, run the ball, play great defense, don't take risks, and they still force-fed him the ball last season under Clint Kubiak. Even with Adam Thielen, Jefferson had 28.9% of Minnesota's targets. That was the third most in NFL. He should be number one in that category going into 2022, I would think, with Kevin O'Connell. So I think you're right. All the expectations, I mean, they can't be higher for Justin Jefferson. Entering his third year, we know that's kind of when it all comes together, in general for wide receivers. He's only scratching the surface, as we know, and I think everybody's just excited to see what he can finally do under Kevin O'Connell's tutelage and play calling as well, and kind of scheming and drawing specific plays up to get him matched up in single coverage when you got Dalvin Cook drawn, 8-9 guys in the box, Adam Thielen, Irv Smith, other guys. I think Justin Jefferson is primed to maybe be the best wide receiver in all of the NFL, and that's better than Jamar Chase, Davante Adams, and even Cooper Kupp himself.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because when you look at Justin Jefferson's rookie season, Jamar Chase broke the records because, like Justin said, he played from day one out the gate, number one receiver. Justin Jefferson, we know, was behind BC Johnson to start the year off, not until after the Colts game. When Justin Jefferson got the nod, BC had a tough Colts game. So when you think about that, that was short a couple games, and he still broke records. And then, of course, now they got broken again. But in the first two seasons, 3,000 yards. One of one. There's no other receiver in NFL history since the merger that's had 3,000 yards in the first two seasons. Not Randy Moss, not Odell Beckham, not Jerry Rice. I mean, that's crazy when you look at that number. I mean, the list of names on there alone, when you think about who else is on this list, Josh Gordon, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and Odell Beckham. Like, that's crazy. That's ridiculous. Take Josh Gordon out of there. Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Odell Beckham, and then Justin Jefferson. Nothing against Josh Gordon, but we know what his issues were. I do think he truly could have been one of the best receivers to play the game as well if he had, stayed on the field. But that's ridiculous when you think about Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Odell Beckham. Justin Jefferson can say, I did something that 3 Hall of Famers, because Odell Beckham's going to be a Hall of Famer, that 3 Hall of Famers did not do. So Justin Jefferson, at this point, if he continues at this clip, 1,000, 1,200, 1,400 yards a season for the rest of his career, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, he's a guy, he can Ocho Cinco that thing right now and grab a gold jacket and start celebrating with it in his celebrations. Because Justin Jefferson is a Hall of Famer. Like, he's going to be a Hall of Famer at this clip. Like, at the clip he's at, he can Ocho Cinco that thing and throw in a gold jacket.